Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Do We Know Them? I'm Lily Marston here with Jesse Smiles, and oh my God, are we on 199?
199. We're almost to 200, but
also,
it's Christmas. Well, not yet, but
it's
you know
December.
What I mean.
That officially means that it is
the holidays. The neons are back. We get to celebrate something and feel alive inside. You know, it's a great time.
Hope you liked our new intro. We know you guys loved the Halloween ones a lot. Here's my question for you guys. What should we do in place of like the witch one, or mostly the witch one?
Yeah.
Like we were thinking maybe like a naughty nice list, or like...
Oh, that's the one that I liked the most. Yeah, and put all the people that we don't like on the naughty list. I like that.
So like Janet.
Just Janet.
And then I was thinking we could be like elves.
Yeah, we also thought of like Mrs. Claus and Santa Claus, things like that. Give us your votes down below. And also, because I'm pretty sure the naughty nice list is going to win, let us know who you would want to be on each list. That would be a fun little experiment, see who people want. We want to try a few things. So feel free, if it's even not the naughty and nice list, like whatever you're thinking, let us know. We're up to be little elves. We're up to do whatever. So yeah, let's get crazy.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too, but you know what I'm not excited for? This episode.
Why?
I'm just kidding. It's just one of the topics is fine, whatever, easy to talk about. The Cenat topic is so fucking insane that number one, I'm like, are we gonna stay monetized? And number two, I'm just perplexed.
Well, so Jesse's like, our researcher like pitched us a few ideas, and she said something about Cenat and a magician, and I was like, I don't know
how you've managed to not see that has happened on the internet, because it is so crazy.
Because I've just been working like on stuff for here in the Patreon. By the way, go join our Patreon if you haven't already. But yeah, no, and then it didn't sound that weird, so I didn't feel compelled to like.
Oh no, it's weird. I think it might be one of the most
absolutely
insane
zero clue
things. Not that we've ever covered, because we've covered like Ruby and Jody and like things like that. But as far as like things that have happened on a live stream, I think this is one of the fucking most bizarre things. And I don't know what went through this guy's head. Do you want to cover it first?
Yeah.
Because I almost want to just get it out of the way.
I'm so curious. I literally like couldn't even begin to guess.
So basically, Cenat, if you don't know who he is a mega famous streamer. Like if you haven't seen a clip of him by now on the internet, I literally don't know what your algorithm is, because his clips of him with like Snoop Dogg and Bill Nye the Science Guy and Nicki Minaj, like it lives on my FYP.
I hadn't really seen him in a while, but he just popped up on mine the other day because he was streaming with this girl that I guess has been streaming for like 2 years straight.
Oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I really like him. He seems to be not very problematic. I mean, he just had Chris Brown on his stream, so you know, give or take. But him himself, like he seems to be a really sweet guy. There's been a couple times that like kind of troubling things have happened, and especially now because he's doing a subathon. And so until he reaches a certain amount of subscribers, that I cannot think of the number right now, until he hits that, he is going to be streaming for 24 hours a day. Like he is literally filmed in the shower. Like he has a bathing suit on, and then he's just like, I don't know, showering in front of people, which to me is my nightmare. Like what?
And like sleeping.
Oh, well, no, it's not just sleeping. He sleeps on the bed, but if they gift certain things or he has some like perks, it does things to like wake him up, like alarms and loud music. And I just,
that sounds like psychological torture.
Warfare. Yeah. No, seriously. I think so to a certain degree. Obviously, this has an end date. It kind of gives FouseyTube a little bit when Fousey did that.
I was just going to say that's what it reminded me of. But I feel like Kai, hopefully, luckily, is a bit more stable than that.
I think that he's mentally more stable. Now, I do think that it's problematic in a few ways. Like, I just don't think it's healthy to do that to a human being in general. And what it's kind of created is an environment where celebrities and just like a lot of people come around and just a lot happens and it all gets filmed. So that can be problematic in itself, because when you get people around, especially like if someone's using substances, like I think it was Kodak Black just went on his stream a couple weeks ago and he was like noticeably like horribly high, like on something. I don't know what he was on, but he was literally like falling over and it was hard to watch. And you could see Kai kind of feel uncomfortable and try to navigate the situation.
Sure. There we go. I can't go to sleep at all.
Excuse me, man. Damn it, man. Because I'm tired, man. I'm going to bed, man. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep, man. So I'll see you later. I'll see you later. I'll see you later, man. I'll see you later. I'll see you later. I'll see you later.
He gonna sleep, chat.
Yeah, bro. I'll see you later, man. I'll see you later, okay?
Okay.
man. I appreciate
W Kodak,
Thank you
chat.
for having me. Thank you for having me here.
W Kodak, man.
Yeah. All right, chat. W chat. Thank you, chat. Thank you, chat.
Well, and especially with celebrities who aren't usually used to being on like live streams, for example, like if you do interviews or any kind of like collab with them, it's very edited, it's very controlled.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of conversations going on that are off camera, figuring out what they're going to do. So I feel like it would be a little unpredictable and weird when you were just having people on and you have zero clue if they're going to go rogue and do something weird.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people's just conclusion of this whole situation we're going to get into is like, shit, his circle's getting a little bit too big. He's hanging around with too many people. Not everybody's going to have his best interest at heart. He's obviously super rich, super famous online. So that attracts a lot of the wrong energy sometimes. And those people may not want the best for you. So moving on to what actually happened, we have Cenat, obviously, we just introduced him, but then we have Max Major. And Max Major is a magician and mentalist and like hypnotist. He's one of those people that's like, I can influence the choice that you're gonna make.
Is that like a thing he does?
Yeah, like that's his whole thing online. He literally does magic tricks. They've actually collabed a few times before. It almost feels like he's like dabbling with some weird shit because sometimes he'll like make people hear things and stuff that's like, you know?
Well, I was gonna say, is it like, I mean, maybe it's the same person. Wasn't there like a David Dobrik collab where he like, I think it was Matt King, and he like told him that like they were all, I don't even remember, like I want to say they were all zombies or like something weird.
Everybody is now alien next time you open your eyes. 1, 2, 3, awake. Eyes open. You good? What? What's going on? You good? Yeah. You know them, right? You know who they are?
It might have been this guy because he claims to also be like a hypnotist. So yeah, he does dabble in weird shit. I remember going on cruise ships and thinking that hypnotism was such bullshit. Like I would see the people being like, I'm a chicken, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, wake up.
Okay, so I feel like that was really popular in like high schools. There was like assemblies that would do tours and do that. It never came to mine, but I don't know. I feel like I've seen a lot of people do those where it's like they're on stage and it's like, when I snap my fingers, you're gonna think that you're naked or something.
I remember my cousin did it on a cruise, and afterwards I asked him, I'm like, were you faking it? He's like, yeah.
Okay, so that's what I wondered. I was like, because I've never actually talked to someone that's done it. So I'm like curious, like, because they really do play along with it. And I'm like, this can't be real.
Exactly. So they've done a bunch of mild collabs in the past. I'll show you one right now where it still freaked Kai out because like Kai doesn't like magic and weird shit. You know what I mean? But like it was not dark. It wasn't like, I don't know. I'll just show you.
Stop! Hey! What the fuck was that, bro?
What'd you hear?
A nigga just talked to me.
What did
On my mother's life, I swear.
he was saying it in his head?
He said, the number is number 3. Out of my head, nigga. What number was it? Bro, what the fuck? Wait,
So you get it? Like he'll make someone hear a number in their head and then someone else is holding the number. Like it's this whole little mind game that he plays.
Okay.
But I have to admit, I've never seen, because I've seen actual mentalists up close, like do shows, and I've never seen them like put a voice in someone's head.
The
That's kinda
closest
creepy.
I've seen is like they do kind of almost like a tinge of like psychic too, that they like kind of are predicting like what they're going to say or like they're telling, I don't know.
Yes.
There's like some kind of telepathy
Yeah.
going on.
So then they decide they're going to collab again. And notably, this time, Kai's doing his subathon and he has Sexy Red. You know who Sexy Red is?
No.
The rapper?
No.
You live under several rocks. But Sexy Red was there and then like her friends and his friends, and it was quite a group of people. So there was a lot going on. And Max Major comes over and he tells Kai, you've really upped your production. Like you have taken it from here to 1,000 or 100. I don't know what number he said specifically, but he tells him like, you've really upped your production. So that's what I'm going to do tonight as well.
Okay.
And Kai was just like, okay, like period. Let's do it. So they start by doing Little things, I guess. Although this alleges that this table's worth $20,000. So if that's true, then maybe this isn't so little. But this was like one of the tricks they did earlier on in the night.
Go up and push down.
I'm going to replay that because it's kind of hard to catch. But like everybody's hand, like nobody's touching the table. The only thing on the table, I think, is duct tape. I don't know why that's there. And they break it. And allegedly this is a $20,000 table, but this looks like it could be $200 from Target. So honestly, I'm not sure.
And also, quick side note is, did you watch the live stream he did where he like had a bunch of fireworks in the room or something and his friend like lights them on fire?
Yes,
and you find out
yeah.
like the whole thing was fake and they had rebuilt a different room. So the idea that it could be a cheap table from Target, I would absolutely buy.
Yeah, I don't think that. Well, actually, after seeing everything that happened tonight, I don't know what this magician's capable of. Like, I think he'd break whatever.
But I do, but I
yeah.
also think like Kai is not above lying about stunts that are going on.
Oh no, for content, yeah, 100%. I'll just show you this one more time, but they all like freak out.
Go up and push down.
Everybody's just running. Like everybody just bolted. And I just
They're all
love
going
it
in like
so
different
much.
directions and don't know where to go.
So that's like obviously not fun because it's like, fuck, there's glass everywhere. What the fuck? But like at the same time, it's mild. And then this was another trick that they did earlier in the night.
Good. Put your hands in your lap. All right, you're going to play first. Here's the way the game's going to go. In a second, you're going to close your eyes. And from the moment your eyes close, you pay attention to anything you feel.
Okay.
So if you feel me tap you, you just raise your hand. Anytime you feel me touch you, you raise your hand. Okay? This is just for you to understand again. Look this way. Close your eyes.
I'll let this
And anytime you feel a touch, you just raise your hand. Good. Close your eyes. Anytime you feel it. Good. Keep your eyes closed.
Oh, this is gonna be creepy.
Great. Open your eyes. You understand the game?
Yeah.
Okay. Look at her. Okay. Close your eyes. Look straight ahead. And I want you to imagine, Kai, you're looking into a mirror. And as you look into the mirror, you don't see yourself. You see Sexy looking back at you. Now, Sexy, you can keep your eyes open and
see
look
Sexy.
at me. Okay? And anytime you feel me touch you, you just raise your hand again. Here we go.
What?
Bro. What? Nobody touching me? On God, say no. Say on God, nobody touching me.
Keep your eyes closed.
Say on God, nobody touching me, nigga. Somebody touching my waist. Bitch.
Okay? Open your eyes.
Word to
Everybody runs again. I love it. Okay.
He's kind of the perfect person to do these with.
That happens. I'm assuming there's some downtime in between. And then things escalate very fucking quickly. Now, I do want to explain a trigger warning, I guess, before we show this, because Jesus Christ, we are not going to be showing what exactly happened. I am going to show Lily off camera, but we literally can't show it because we will get demonetized. This will be the end of our channel.
I was gonna say, we still have that community thing up. I took the class, but it's not up till February.
Yeah, we can't take any risks. But trigger warning for the like almost depiction, I guess, or like it looks like someone is going to be unalived or unalive themselves. Okay.
Oh my
so
God, okay.
basically, they all get walked outside. And what they walk out to, mind you, this is a group of entirely, like, they are all black. And they walk out, and there are 3 nooses on like a platform. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, prepare yourself. And he is standing up on that platform, Max Major is. And this is him explaining what the trick is.
I said we were going to play one last game. This is the game. On this scaffolding are 3 ropes. Each of the ropes goes up, they go to a pulley, and they're attached to a big heavy sandbag over here.
Before he continues explaining, how the flying fuck did he think as a white man showing this to like an entire group of black people was like the move? Like, how does this pass any sort of fucking idea back and forth? Like, this is just insane that he decided to go with this.
Either it's intentionally fucked,
Right.
or he's just like so
dumb.
ignorant and
Yeah.
yeah. And I don't know anything about him, so I don't know which it is, but
I
that's
could not
fucking
believe.
wild.
Like when I saw what the setup was, I gasped like audibly.
It makes it 10 times worse that it is with a group of black people, but also in general.
Horrible
What
in
the
general.
fuck? Isn't Kai's audience like, it's not
They're all
like
children.
children,
No,
but
no,
it's
it is.
very much younger.
No, his audience is primarily younger, for sure.
Like under 18.
I would say a lot of his fans are under 18, yeah. I saw this and I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, there's a lot of magicians that like to push the envelope, you know, and do things that are wild and like put themselves in situations that they have to get out of, and it gives anxiety to the audience and stuff. This just feels, I don't know, malicious. Like, I don't know. I was just caught off guard by it.
Because also I think of even like David Blaine kind of situations where it's not magic, it's like body manipulation and like he like learns how to do weird shit. But also like anytime they do stuff where it's like I'm being buried alive or like I'm gonna be in a tank of water for blah blah, there are like tons of professional people around to be there if something goes wrong.
So there are here. You're going to see in a second, there's like paramedics and stuff standing by.
Okay.
But basically, we'll let him continue on. The game is like Kai has to be the person to choose which rope to pull.
What?
I know, it's fucked.
Sandbags are attached to the rip cords. The rip cords come down the front, through that PVC tube, and they end at the handles right in front of you. Before we go any further, I have to say that I'm a professional. This is my decision to do this. I'm supervised by professionals. We have emergency personnel standing by, and that absolutely no one should try anything like this or anything dangerous at home.
Okay, so you get it. It's the dumbest fucking thing alive.
Yes, there are professionals standing by, but like this doesn't look very well manufactured.
You mean the scaffolding? Yeah, it looks a little
This looks like
rinky-dinky.
he had like a PA do it.
It's pretty bad.
And like the things coming out of like a fucking traffic cone. Like what?
That specifically, I was like, oh, a choice. But yeah, so he does this whole fucking thing, and then Kai's choosing ropes and drops ropes. It's very long and drawn out, so we'll skip that. I am gonna show Lily really quick off camera the clip of this happening, because what ends up happening and what was supposed to happen all along is Kai pulls a rope that unalives this man. And I have to say, although we are not showing the clip, it looks fucking real. Like, it looks real, and this was all on live stream to his children followers.
That's insane.
Look at this.
Okay, will you play it one more time? Sorry. For some reason, it didn't look, I mean, if I was there, absolutely, I would think it was real. And like the way everyone reacts, it seems real, but his body seemed weirdly stiff and like,
I don't know. It looked real to me.
like if you get like that would like break your neck. He was like still like very like,
Oh, I guess I know what you mean. Yeah. But it seems like to me, whatever trick they did was like somebody was probably still like he did drop seemingly, but he was still being held up. But the thing is that the weight, like what he was being held by was his neck. So that is still super dangerous. Whatever the fuck the trick was, like he still was putting all that stress right here. Like that's fucking crazy.
I think
would
that it
freak out if
maybe
I
there was
there.
something possibly preventing it from like closing all the way. So it didn't like actually, because
Well, it wouldn't matter because once you drop down and like you're being
that's his
held up by
body would
it.
like go like he
I
would
know.
like lose his ability to.
What I will say is that immediately, like he was there, I don't know, like suspended, I guess is the word that I'm going to try to, you know, skirt around with. He was suspended for like 4 seconds and then they dropped the rope and paramedics rushed to him.
It also seemed weird. I like they kept him up there a few seconds too long. Like they moved the scaffolding out of the way first. And it's like it would be a smaller drop if you just left it there. Why would you move it away?
I know. And this is the reaction though, like right after he was suspended.
What the fuck? But I can't. Is he okay? Can I stay here?
Let's go. You have to go right now. You need to work.
Hey, let me know if it's a joke. Is it a joke? Is it a joke?
Let's go. I need you to go. I need you to go.
So literally it's the emergency personnel or whatever, the people that were there to help saying, you guys can't get close. Like we're dealing with this and it's a safety issue. So nobody told them that it was a prank at this point. They didn't know if he was alive. They didn't know what was happening. They just knew that that had happened in front of them.
What is the point of this?
Oh yeah, we'll get to the magician talking about his point, acting like he fucking was playing chess, not checkers. Like, give me a fucking break. But
Before we go any further, we have a word from our sponsor, Lumi.
Lumi is a whole body deodorant that is safe to use anywhere on your body, your armpits, your thigh folds, belly buttons, butt cracks, vulvas, the whole 9 yards.
Yes, you can use it anywhere because it was created by an OBGYN who saw firsthand how normal BO was being misdiagnosed and mistreated.
And it's clinically proven to control odor for up to 72 hours.
And if you want to try Lumi and you don't really know where to begin, you should definitely try the starter pack because it comes with a solid stick deodorant, a cream tube deodorant, and 2 free products of your choice, like a mini body wash or our favorite, the deodorant wipes.
And free shipping, which is amazing. And as a special offer for our listeners, new customers are getting 15% off of all Lumi's products with our exclusive code DoWeKnow. And then if you combine that 15% off with the already discounted starter pack, that equals over 40% off of their starter pack.
Again, that's code DoWeKnow at lumideodorant.com, LUMEDEODORANT.com.
And please support our show by letting them know that we sent you. And thank you so much to Lumi for being an amazing sponsor of this podcast. Also, I will say there's probably some discussion on whether or not Kai was in on it. I absolutely think he was not. Like, it's not just that their reactions seem genuine. It's that why would you want to put that on your stream? That doesn't make any sense.
Honestly, even more than that, I think the potential of getting banned,
Yeah.
I feel like he wouldn't...
Like, you wouldn't risk that.
He wouldn't want to risk that. Yeah.
And that was pretty much his immediate reaction. He says it right here.
Wait, no.
Oh my god.
I might get mad.
Oh, my heart hurts.
Some people were like floored by that. And there was a lot of discussion of like, why would he say I might get banned if somebody's like dead in front of him? You know what I mean? Like, why is that the first thing you're thinking of? I don't think that he didn't like give a shit about the guy. I think that he was probably just experiencing like a large array of emotions and just felt like,
I mean, look
don't
at his
know.
face. He looks like he's like
Horrified.
mortified.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at the same time though, like this is his job. This is his entire career. He's literally been live for like weeks and that's all he does all day, every day. It's not completely surprising that that's on his mind as well. Like, oh my God, I just showed something traumatizing. Like that might be what his actual frame of mind is. Like, shit, that was just seen by kids. You know what I mean? Like that was not something we should have put on Twitch.
Well, because I think I even heard him in another point, like right after, where he says, like, was that on stream? Like, it didn't seem as much like from a place of my career. It was more like, did people
saw
see that?
Yeah,
Like,
for sure. This is another reaction right after.
Is he okay? I said no. I didn't know. I didn't mean to put a red.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll report to the EMTs are taking care of him. We'll be okay. Okay. It's not your.
So literally he is like concerned. All the friends are just like, just tell us if he's okay. And they're just like, we'll report back to you. Like the EMTs are working on him.
Yeah, they're weirdly calm.
Right?
Too. Like, I know EMTs are supposed to like diffuse, but like, no. Are they even really EMTs?
I have no fucking idea. No, probably not actually. Well, maybe because it is kind of dangerous and they probably did need people there. But anyway, now all hell breaks loose because Max disappears. They take him, right, to work on him. And then they go back to Kai's room, like the one that he streams in all the time. And there's like a post-it note on his computer that says play me or something like that. And when he clicks on it, it's this.
Fuck?
If you're watching this, that means that something has gone terribly wrong. But what you don't know is that was all according to my plan. You see, at the start of my performance, I said that tonight was all about choices. But not just the choices that you made tonight, the choices that you've made since the day that we met.
Well, so today I got. Wait, what? He took info when we met? My car's lip checks. I'm on his ass.
I had to look. I wanted to see that go through his lips. I kept trying to fuck with him, like trying to. So he dead ass is creative. He really trying to prove you wrong. I'm so glad they had that ran it over. I don't even fuck with him. What's wrong with you, bro? For real.
You see, from the first time we met, you pushed me, you challenged me, you wanted to see me fail. And I thought tonight, I'd give you exactly what you asked for. You see, you thought the game was for me to influence you to make the right choice. Well, all along, I planned to influence you to make the wrong choice. And I knew you'd pick the red handle. You see...
But nah, he's saying you, when you before you even point down, he's saying you pick a red.
Even when it feels like you're playing a game of chance, you have to remember who you're playing against.
He already made
Because I
the video,
decide
girl.
who wins or loses.
Like, okay, mic drop. What the fuck is the point of any of that? Are you joking?
I have no words. Like, this is so weird.
It makes zero sense. And this is when shit really pops off because they just were upset. they were like, why'd you do that? And then they did obviously mention several times, like, we are Black people. Why would you think this wasn't appropriate? Like, this is just, it could have been like Sexy Red literally says that could have traumatized us. You know what I mean? That could have actually caused fucking trauma.
I feel like it did, probably. But that's also like, even back to him saying like, I might get banned. This guy wasn't like his friend. I mean, not to say that you wouldn't be like concerned about someone being unalived in front of you if you didn't know them. But like, this is someone he doesn't really know that chose to do that.
Yeah.
At the very least, chose to have a chance at doing that. But that felt like it was supposed to borderline be like an unaliving note.
Yeah.
That he left behind.
And then Kai did mention, he's like, well, what if he just recorded 3 different options? One with the blue, one with the red, one with the, you know what I mean? Like, if this wasn't some sort of like actual real gotcha, like maybe he is actually hurt. They were just trying to figure out what the fuck happened, if he was hurt or he wasn't hurt. And he seemed genuinely upset.
No, whoa, hell no. We just spoke to Max. I literally just called him and said, yo, bro. He said, hello. I said, yo, bro, come back to the crib. He got silent and it hung up. So he has his phone, gang. No, he has the phone. But we just called him and I heard his voice.
You did? I've only talked to the people that left. I haven't spoken to them.
So they started getting upset because they wanted Max to return. They wanted him to come back to Kai's house to confront them and talk about why the fuck he did that and be on the stream.
Wait, so they know he's alive?
Yeah, after they saw that video, they knew he was alive.
But that he like had shot in advance, he said.
Yeah, I know. But if you wanted someone to pull the wrong cord, that would mean that you, like, you're not really dead. You knew that that was going to happen and you prepared for that.
No, I was saying that's like, seems like a weird, fucked up, like,
Oh, I
unaliving.
kind of see your
like,
perspective of like, yeah, just being like, well, now you killed me. Yeah, no, I get what you mean.
Literally.
But over time, they realized that also the chat was weighing in. It was a fucking disaster. And they eventually did realize it was not real. That made them angry. They wanted him to return. So once they found out that he was okay, they started calling him. And like he said hello, like he heard Max's voice. And then he's like, hey, come here, like come to my house. And he just hung up. And he just started avoiding them.
What?
I know. Yeah, if you're gonna do this like grand thing and be like, I choose my destiny,
and like
or whatever the fuck.
mic drop
Yeah,
it,
mic
like...
drop. And then literally run away. So what I think actually happened is that people from the stream that saw that happen were like, what the fuck is wrong with you, basically? And he didn't want to come back and be on stream and have to confront, you know what I mean? Like he was just like, that's not a good idea.
But how would you possibly think that would have gone?
Well, obviously he thought it was gonna be, I mean, if you look at the examples from their past things, it seems like he pushes limits and, you know, they have gotten into altercations and stuff. But like, this was just insane. Like, I don't know how on earth he thought this one through and was like, yep, that's the one. And then just went with it and didn't think it would go wrong. So it did go wrong. And unluckily for his assistant, who was like a straggler left in the house, they find this assistant of Max Majors and they allegedly do something a little bit seemingly illegal. And of course, it's all caught on live stream.
Wait, also, I don't think that there was a possibility that that wouldn't have happened. Like, I feel like that was the only option, probably.
Yeah, it does seem though like he wanted to do it and then just like he did not want to deal with being questioned at all.
I just think that's what was the point then?
Sit right here, Mookie.
Yeah. Sit
right here.
Sit. Yeah. Sit down. Stop. Hold on.
Oh my God.
Gang. Was you there last year?
Sit in the middle.
Me?
Yes.
I was with you guys down there.
You was you and me last year?
With you last year, yeah.
He was?
Yeah.
So you know how I let him have a chance on my shit.
And he said that's his phone. Yeah.
You know that's his
He got
phone?
Max's phone.
He can't come back until... You can't leave until he come back, bro.
Real shit.
I'm dead ass. I'm human and human.
I understand.
I'm not playing.
I understand.
Relax, let me speak.
Just like Kai talk.
I will say the sheer amount of people in this room would give me so much anxiety. I would absolutely throw up.
Literally the way they all circled around him, like...
Okay, so that's what people are like, this is illegal, you can't do that. So he's literally telling the straggler assistant of Max Major, who, yes, maybe knew what was going on, maybe has an answer or whatever, but he's like, you can't leave this house until he comes back. That's called kidnapping, and you can't do that. So regardless of what your intentions are, this was not smart to record.
Imprisonment? Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
Like Kai talk.
I'm dead ass, bro. Stop doing that.
I understand.
You tried to leave just now.
No, I'm just getting.
Word of my mother, you tried to leave.
You trying to leave. You
The
trying
fuck
to leave.
are you talking about?
Word of my mother, you running
My
the
car
hill.
is parked in front of your house, bro.
We said, yo, can you stay to Maxie back? You got Max when we said don't leave. You started running down the hill.
And you left.
This is the most chaotic.
Bizarre. Then they finally let that guy go because they literally, you have to. Like, what the fuck do you
Was
mean?
like, what is he gonna like? What do you?
They were like almost holding him hostage to get Max to come back.
I was like, if what's his name, Max is willing to fucking fake
His
unalive
death?
himself on
Yeah.
camera, I don't think he's gonna care about his assistant.
It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it, bro. Let him go. Yo, let him go. He wants to look. We just look like black people that look crazy. That's what they want to look like. Close the door, bro. Close the door.
20 people come in. Like, literally, can he have a fucking minute?
I mean, honestly, just the state of this room alone is
Overstimulating.
making me like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, how many people go in and out of that house?
Us screaming at him, we just look like a whole bunch of black niggas that let's look crazy. So let God handle that, bro. But Max, you was a fucked up. Max, you fucked up, bro. And I'm a lot smarter than I was a few years ago. I'm a lot smarter. You fucked up.
He wanted a viral
He
moment.
fucked up, but that was a viral moment. He's fucked up.
But like, what kind of viral? Like, why? That's not.
I mean, it was
It makes
viral.
zero sense.
Like, for instance, I didn't know he had done collabs with Kai in the past. I literally have never heard of Max Major, I don't think, until now. So he definitely got attention, but at what
but
cost?
not good attention. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like, oh, I can't wait to see his next prank. Like, what do you mean?
Then Max gets in touch with Kai's team.
Gang,
They said Talil is a great
Gang.
friend.
Max just texted my team. Wait.
Wait, Josh. Be quiet, listen, y'all.
Max just texted my. Please listen up, chat. Max just texted my team saying, "It's Max. I don't have my phone. I think we have everyone leave, and we let the story be what. I think we let everybody leave, and we let the story be what it is.
What?
I'm the bad guy, but coming back, it doesn't change anything."
He said come back in doesn't change anything, really. He's scared, man. He not coming.
What the fuck kind of weird villain arc is this? Like, okay, let's let the story be what it is. I'm the bad guy. Yeah, you are. It seems to me like he may be thinking like, I gave you good content. Like, look at how many people are talking about it, but now I'm going to be the villain for doing basically what you wanted me to do, which is come on stream and fucking create a show. And it's not about that. Like, what you did was too far.
Again, you know who his audience is. It's just absurd. I don't even think if the audience was older, like that wouldn't be a thing that you would do and think people were gonna be like entertained by it.
Yeah.
I just don't understand also why you would go to the lengths to do something so fucked up and then be a little bitch and leave.
That's seemingly what happened. It just got too much. Like, I think he was gonna disappear. I think that was part of it, where it's like he gets rushed off by EMTs. But I think the aftermath
Wouldn't
was
the whole
like
point
explosive.
be like everyone's like upset and then he like reappears and he's like, haha, just kidding. Like,
Yeah, no, I would think so. Like, I think he wanted people to have a genuine reaction, but then realized that reaction was like a million times worse than he thought it was gonna be, and just bitched out.
almost as if he like wanted them to only have like a sympathetic reaction.
He's like, oh no, he's dead. They all
as in,
just
like,
cry,
oh no,
prep his
literally,
funeral. Like,
well,
what
literally,
do you
it's like, oh
want?
no, he died. But then it's like, but no, that like if someone unalived themselves in front of you, you aren't gonna be like, oh, this was such a sad day. Like, you're gonna be pissed too. Like, you're gonna feel like a lot of emotions that aren't like.
That's true. Even if you really thought they were dead, yeah, you'd be like, why would you do that on camera and in front? Like, what was the reason? It didn't need to happen.
Because again, like if it was real, it doesn't matter if there were other options. Like he put himself in that situation
Yeah.
and chose to do it on a live stream that wasn't his own, that has kids watching. I mean, anyone watching would be absurd. But then like, I feel like people already talk about how unaliving yourself has such an effect on the
Everybody
people
else,
that know you.
yeah. And to do it in a situation where like you are aware because you've worked with Kai before, like you know he has young followers. It's so insane to do.
Well,
on camera.
and then to do it in a way that not only are you making them broadcast it unknowingly, but then you're literally blaming him for
Yeah.
doing it when you were the one that set it up. Like,
all right, I'll be the bad guy.
like, yeah,
So
you are.
insane.
Like, but I have to wonder, like, did he think that people are just gonna be like, oh no, I can't believe this. This is so horrible. And it's like, yeah, it is horrible for a lot of different reasons. And like, I feel like it's completely natural for all of them to be like, this guy was so fucked up. Like, I can't believe he would do that
I
to
get
us.
why they're so fucking angry. And I know Kai's like, fuck, we shouldn't be screaming at this guy. I think that was like too far to like go for the assistant and stuff. But I do think that anger is valid because it's not just the experience itself and how traumatizing it was. It's playing with his platform, which is his livelihood. So like, I would be pissed on
There's a lot of different levels to it.
Yeah.
It's like, again, if it was real, you potentially traumatize. I mean, even if it's not real, traumatized this group of people.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if it's not real in the end. Like they still thought it was in the time. That's fucked up.
Oh my God. It makes me think, who did it? Sam Pepper and Sam and Colby when they did the
oh my God, the prank of
the kid
them being kidnapped. Insane.
And it's like to even for a second make your like that situation, it was like to make your friend think that you were dead for fun. For
there are
entertainment.
certain
Like,
pranks
that
that
is
can't
so
be
insane.
unpranked. You can't just be like, it's
Exactly.
a prank, bro. Like, it's fine. It's like, well, you traumatized me during the prank, so no thank you.
Exactly. So to even have them think he was dead for even a second
disgusting
is traumatizing.
Yeah.
And then to have Kai even for a second have any kind of guilt or feel like responsibility in it.
Yeah,
is
because he
so
had to be the
weird.
one who made that decision. Yeah, it's fucked up. But also, I don't think, because he's still on Twitch, and I think that action would have been taken already, I don't think he got banned, but I would argue that he might have still gotten fucking banned, even if it was fake. Like, the depiction of it alone was very realistic.
For sure. No, I think he, because of who he is and because he doesn't ever like do stuff like that, and if he like made it so clear that he was
He
not
did
the
not
one,
support
like he
that.
didn't,
Yeah.
exactly, then I think that he could like obviously, maybe talk to Twitch and make sure it didn't. But like,
yeah, and here he's even doubling down because I do think people were accusing him of knowing and being in on it because he does do a lot for the camera, and I think that a lot of his reactions are to play things up for sure, but I just don't think this was one of those times.
this isn't like playing something up though. This would be like he has to be acting, and no offense to him, but like, no, I don't buy that.
Yeah.
Like, he seems genuinely traumatized. What is happening?
This is too many people in your circle. They need to go. This is insane that you're trying to address your freaking platform. You're trying to say, I didn't know, whatever. And these girls are just checking out their ass. Like, I know you were there too, and maybe they're dealing with their trauma in a different way. But what the fuck? Like, no, I would literally be like, get the fuck out of my room.
Yeah, no, it's fucking weird. And also, again, children.
Oh yeah, no, there's definitely kids watching this right now. Yeah. And then he keeps going and they're like moving his chair and shit and just checking themselves out.
Look at their faces and look at his.
Let me go knee.
That is, I can't.
Right?
What the fuck?
I was just watching the screen like, okay.
That just,
got
like,
it.
this entire thing, like, the most chaotic,
Stressful,
just
mess
I've ever
Yeah.
seen.
He ends things kind of by addressing Max on stream.
And my final thing. Max, you weird.
Yeah, for real.
I hate shit. I've been having an amazing month. Nothing wrong, nothing good. The fact that you can't even just come back and just talk to me is crazy.
He probably scared now, Kyle.
Yeah, he's scared. I ain't
He
lie.
probably scared.
But at least call my phone.
He ain't gonna come talk
something.
to you.
I'll step off camera. Just something. Just something, bro. But I just never involve him in anything again. Like, you just made it a bigger situation than it had to. And us screaming like that, we just look like a whole bunch of black niggas looking crazy. So I don't want that online for any of us. So
He was obviously stressing the fuck out. And it seems like the people around him, I'm not going to pretend to know like what kind of friends they are to him in real life, but I will just say it is
They
seeming
didn't
like his
seem
circle's getting
particularly
too big.
concerned with his feelings or what he was trying to like navigate.
They are not
when they're
acting like
literally
friends that I would want to have
slapping
in
their
my life.
asses.
That's for sure. Like, they genuinely seem like they're just there for the show. of it all. And he seems like he was genuinely in that moment, like freaked the fuck out. And I just hope that he can surround himself with people who give a shit about him, because it's so easy to not do that when everyone wants to be around you.
One, especially also though, when you're so like in it. Like, I feel like when you're live streaming, like, you're not fully present in the situation that you're live streaming. Like, he's constantly like looking at the chat and like making sure things are all going according to plan. So he's not fully, I think, paying attention to everything going on around him. But then also the vibe I've gotten always from him is that he is like a very genuine, nice, like just sweet guy.
Same.
But like very naive. And like maybe a little
immature.
Not like immature, like I don't know how to explain. Basically, just it's like, oh, bless his heart. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think that he benefits, and I get why he does it, but I don't think he benefits from the constant surrounding himself by famous people and their friends and shit like that, because that world in general is super dark. And I get it. It makes really good content for him. He is constantly going viral just for funny clips with celebrities. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just think that he needs to keep collabs as collabs and very separate, and not mistake these people for his real friends. Because although there were some people concerned and it did seem like everyone dealt with it in a different way and got worked up in a different way, that right there of like all of them just checking out their ass, like that to me was just like, oh, you shouldn't be here. What the fuck is this? It just seems like they don't really give a shit that he didn't even know at that time if his platform was gonna be there the next day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it just, and when people get banned on Twitch, they get banned on Twitch. Like they don't give a fuck how many millions of followers you have. So yeah, that's the magician situation. Is it not insane?
I'm just so like, what the fuck is wrong with this Max guy?
Literally, I think I texted you that he is insane.
What's he gonna do now?
Oh, I don't know. He hasn't done shit. He hasn't said shit online. Like he disappeared, and as he should, because what the fuck are you gonna even say?
I'm so genuinely curious what his best case scenario, what was that?
Yeah.
Because I don't see any scenarios that could have gone well.
The only explanation that I can think of that makes sense is that he was too lost in the sauce, if you will, and just was like so focused on pushing that envelope that he really didn't not only not think of the outcome, but not understand like the optics of everything and how that would look in the crowd that he was in. Like it just, I don't think he looked at any aspect of it of like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have 3 nooses out here in front of a group of black people. That maybe wouldn't be the best idea. Like, I think it's from everything, even in that regard, to like all the way to like, what the fuck did you think was going to happen? I don't know. I just think he didn't really think any of this through.
I mean, honestly, it makes Logan Paul's Unaliving Forest situation look like nothing. I don't mean that because obviously there was an actual person involved in that one that passed away, but like the same level of like just disconnect from reality, and like it's just so weird.
So weird. Yeah. When I saw it, I was confused at the series of events. I was like, wait, what happened? How did it happen? So if you've been hearing about it and didn't know what the situation was, there you go. And fuck, that is the wildest shit I've ever seen on live to date. And I've seen some crazy shit on live. My FYP is fucking nuts. But before we continue, we really quickly want to thank our sponsor, OneSkin.
OneSkin is one of our favorite sponsors because if you guys have been wondering how we stay youthful, it's their skincare line.
They have a wide array of products, and their secret is their OSL1 peptide that is scientifically proven to switch off the aging, dysfunctional cells that cause lines, wrinkles, and thinning skin. So they put that in all of their formulas, and my favorite personally is their eye cream. It doesn't irritate my eyes. It just sinks into it very nicely, and I feel like over time I've really been able to see the results.
I'm a big fan of the eye cream. I also just love the normal face cream. I feel like it's not too heavy and it does keep my skin hydrated. Big fan. And the sunscreen, protecting my skin as I get older.
So if you guys want to try out OneSkin for yourself, you can go to oneskin.co and use our code DWKT to get 15% off.
That's oneskin.co and use the code DWKT and you get 15% off.
And then after you purchase, they're going to ask how you heard about them, and it helps us out a lot if you let them know that the girlies sent you. And yeah, thank you so much to OneSkin for being an amazing sponsor of this podcast. But anyway, we have a second topic that is much more lighthearted and is just interesting in general when it comes to what's happening online and how people are suing each other, and just the topic of what is worth suing over, which you know is our favorite topic.
I just was talking to our friends at Thanksgiving and giving them a very, very brief rundown just about like the legal system in general and how long it takes. And I don't understand people that like want to go to court. Like, again, I think I said this in a recent episode that I was like, unless the payout is so guaranteed and so good, why the fuck would you want to go through that process?
Well, there's nothing worse than the court system. Like, I just feel like everything's so slow. It's designed to make you spend so much money on lawyers, and it's just a nightmare, honestly. Again, I've said this before, if it's small claims court, completely different.
That's different.
You can represent yourself, all that stuff. So I don't know specifically if they're going to small claims court. It doesn't seem like it, but essentially what we're dealing with is there are two influencers. It's the battle of the Amazon affiliates, I feel like is what this should be called, because they're both influencers that have Amazon storefronts. They're both giving beige. They're both giving iPac Stanley Cups. You know the vibes.
Also, a quick side note back to the overall like general notion of suing people. The only way I can wrap my head around how a lot of people end up doing it is that they don't even realize what it entails. And they think it's just going to be like something that...
Yeah, they like do the initial retainer with their lawyers to do like the filing paperwork. And they're like, okay, well, I could give like $2,000 for like the initial paperwork. And they don't realize
like the lawyer must like blow
that
smoke up their
is
ass,
done.
kind of being like, yeah, you're totally going to win. This is going to be great.
Yeah.
We're going to show them. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh shit, it's been a year.
Yeah. So the people that we're dealing with here are Sydney Sloan and Alyssa Shield.
Sydney has like about 600,000 followers and Alyssa has 300,000.
And it's interesting because Sydney's description says, my home fashion and Amazon finds, entering my mom era. And then Alyssa's is your Amazon BFF. Like literally, I'm telling you, it's
really
the battle
making
of the Amazon affiliates.
their personality.
Yeah, which I get. That's some people's entire career. I know that like TikTok shop is some people's entire career. And for some reason, it's also like Jeffree Star's and like Michelle Phan's career. It's like, you guys, aren't you millionaires? Why the fuck are you shilling that one face thing that sucks your face? Like, what the fuck are you doing? And Tati Westbrook too. They've become like QVC commercials and it's super embarrassing, but slay, live your life, I guess. But I do think it's a lucrative thing to sell.
I was going to say, it must be a lucrative thing because so many people do it.
Yeah. Oh my God. Random thing that I saw and it was very funny. Jason Derulo was performing live on a Crocs TikTok live stream because they were having some holiday sale and it was the cringiest thing in the entire world.
I mean, his entire TikTok career has been the cringiest.
I know,
thing.
but just imagine, and we'll show a clip here. Imagine just like there's like a bunch of Crocs stuff in the background. It's like a tiny little TikTok holiday set, and there's Jason Derulo just pop locking and dropping it on the fucking just amazing.
I'm so excited. I was like, yo, I get to perform this song, but I want to make sure that everybody's getting these deals, at the same time.
Yes!
Because, this is just too good. It's just way too good to pass up, and you can only get this kind of deal right here, right now.
But anyway, that was just a fun tidbit to share with you. Mid-episode, we love the internet, if you will. But what we have here is a TikToker that is accusing another TikToker of copying her. We've covered this on past episodes, like with our good friend Emery, who copied that one TikTok of the hats. That was a good one.
It was like she showed everyone how to wear a baseball hat.
Yeah, and it's literally where a creator will copy word for word or frame for frame a TikTok. It happens all the time. It's unfortunate. People usually do it like maliciously, like they don't credit the person and they act like they came up with it. And it does seem like that's what's happening here. So let's just take a look at their like TikTok grids, just a random screenshot of both of their grids. And you could honestly not really tell them apart because they're both like, what is that? Cool toned? Beige.
They use different fonts, but it's giving like a version of like Megan used to have her like all white Instagram.
Yes, I remember that. Mm-hmm.
Based on this alone, sorry, there's so many people that do this. This could be like a million different people's
and
TikToks.
Our researcher actually put in a few examples, and this one is actually a throwback, I think, to the lady who stole from Target, right? Marlena, is that her? Yeah, that's her.
Oh, that's funny.
Do you see her aesthetic?
That literally
same shit.
Exact same thumbnails.
Yeah,
yep.
Same thumbnails.
They're
You
all
could
just using
copy
like
and
a
paste
slightly
them.
different font.
Yeah. Now, although the aesthetic is not exactly new, that's not what she's accusing her of stealing. So she's accusing her of stealing the aesthetic, yes, but also like actual content from her. So this is a good example. It's Sydney's gift guide for men.
These are the gifts guys actually want. My husband helped me with this list. He owns all of these and thinks other guys would love them. I will die on the hill.
Okay, now let's see the intro to Alyssa's. this.
Let's talk about gifts for him that he will actually like. Starting off so insanely strong, I got my boyfriend both of these last year for Christmas, and
I want to see what gifts she actually said. So Lego car. Sydney suggests Lego a bonsai plant. My husband will be like, okie dokie. I'm looking through the gifts. We've got perfume. We've got like a little watch case. And although Alyssa literally starts it off the same, like they say, let's show you what to buy a man that he'll actually like. Those are the words.
Pretty generic.
It looks like the gifts are different. Oh, no, here's the watch case. It's not the same one, but it's very similar. So it does look like she copies some of the gifts, although these slippers weren't on Sydney's. Oh, AirTag. Sydney had an AirTag on hers too.
This isn't very compelling evidence for
Okay,
me.
there's more, and I'm going to show you actually somebody who is a journalist that actually interviewed them, and we're going to let her explain a lot of it because she's the one who gathered everything on this and is kind of bringing it to social media so that everybody knows about it. But just from seeing that, there's some similarities, but it's not like an Emery copy and paste. I am copying you word for word.
You could look up a gift guide for like 2024 holidays, and I guarantee you there's going to be some that have overlap.
Right.
I don't know. That definitely wasn't
super compelling.
She copied me. Yeah.
Okay, so this is Mia, and we're going to let her explain some of this lawsuit.
There is a lawsuit happening between two influencers that brings up so many questions around our digital existence and capitalism and the creator industry that I honestly will be thinking about this story for the rest of my life. This video might be a little long, but just buckle in. I promise it's worth it.
One thing that I like that Mia does specifically here as she's explaining this to us is she shows the defendant and the plaintiff's like content side by side, which I think is really helpful. So we'll let her do that.
This is Sydney Nicole Gifford. She's 24 and she is an Amazon influencer. What that means is she promotes Amazon products on her videos or on her photos on social media and then makes a little bit of money every time you purchase using her affiliate link. Unlike a lot of influencers, she pretty much only promotes Amazon products, and she told me that Amazon basically pays her bills. This is how she makes her living. This is a type of content she posts. This is what it looks like. It's all very neutral, beige, cream, black, plain. Some people might call it basic, some people might call it minimal, some people might describe it as clean girl, but this is very consistent across her profiles, across her content. And then when I went and visited her, this is exactly what her house looks like. Everything is cream, everything is beige. And this is Alyssa Shields. She is also an Amazon influencer doing exactly the same thing. She's 21 and she lives in Austin. Now, before the lawsuit, there's some important context. Alyssa and Sydney actually know each other in real life.
Oh,
interesting.
I didn't know that. That is interesting.
Sydney also lived in Austin. The two had met up a couple times to hang out and support each other's businesses, sort of like girls supporting girls. At these meetups, there was also another influencer friend of Sydney's. And Alyssa says that during the meetings, she felt like she was excluded or they were icing her out. And Sydney and the other influencer deny this, but everyone agrees on what happens next. Alyssa blocks Sydney on social media.
To be clear, Alyssa's the one being sued. Okay, so she blocks Sydney.
Okay. When this happened, Sydney told me she didn't really think much of it. She was like, I get it. Influencing is hard. It can be difficult for your mental health.
Literally the clip of Michaela Nogueira. Try being an influencer for a day. I dare you.
Try being an influencer for a day. Try it.
No, but literally, if I was like, even just like work acquaintances, whatever, with someone, and then they blocked me, I would not be like,
influencing is hard. I mean, I'd be like, you
what?
fucking bitch.
No, I'd be like very offended.
Well, that kind of gives me the vibe that it's bullshit, because I really doubt that was her reaction. Like, there's just no way that she was just like, oh, no big deal.
It's difficult for your mental health, like whatever. And so she carried on just doing her work. And then 10 months later, something changed. Months after she was blocked, Sydney started hearing from followers saying that other people saw Alyssa's content on their social media feeds and thought that it was Sydney. Followers told her that the content looked just like Sydney's, that it was beige, cream, neutral, and they even thought that it was Sydney posting the video, and then they would look at the name and it was actually Alyssa. When Sydney goes and looks on Alyssa's page, she finds tons of overlap between the type of content they're posting. Here are some screenshots that Sydney submitted to court. These are Alyssa's posts. Does it remind you of anything? Again, here are Sydney's.
I mean,
can you sue someone over that though? Like,
oh, well, she's doing, and we say this all the time.
You can sue for
sue
anything.
someone for anything.
Yeah, because like this is like for a different example. I'm just thinking like back during the like beauty lifestyle guru era, when like Alicia Marie, for example. Love Alicia. Highly saturated videos. Like, this is what I'm bringing to my pool party. And they like all like would collab and stuff. I don't know who first came up with that aesthetic, but like they all did it.
Yeah, what's copying you and what's a trend?
And what's like taking inspiration and being like, I like that look. Like you don't own having beige furniture. Like,
yeah, it does get more specific though.
Okay.
So clearly it's really similar. Sydney says that not only is the vibe the same, but also they're promoting the same products. And sometimes Alyssa is promoting the same product that Sydney promoted just a few days after her. So here's an example. The plaintiff is Sydney.
Okay, so this is an example of literally the same product being shown in the exact same way almost.
So I guess this is a little weird just because Amazon is not lacking in the selection department.
Right. So if you have the exact same thing, that's weird. The exact same product.
And if it was something that was like a trending product, like for example, like the Theragun, I'm sure that's on a ton of holiday gift guides.
Yeah.
But little like bow earrings, definitely very specific.
Yeah. And again, she's alleging that this would happen a few days after she would post them, which I do think is weird because again, Alyssa blocked her. Now, when you do block someone, you could still see their content, right?
I don't know. I've never blocked anyone.
You've never blocked anyone?
I guess not, that I was still trying to
look
see their
at.
content.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So I guess I don't know, but she could have another account as well. It just seems weird that you would actively make that choice and like statement to block someone and then go and steal what they're talking about.
No, it would totally make sense though, because she doesn't want her to see it.
Yeah, and it's also worth noting, as silly as people think being an influencer is, it really probably does take her time and effort to find products that she wants to like curate in a certain way and sell to her audience. I don't think it's fucking rocket science to scroll through Amazon. I'm just saying if she did spend time to kind of create that like lookbook or whatever it is that she's using to sell things, and then this girl just comes and swoops in and just copies it, I could see how that's annoying.
That's the thing is, do I think it's annoying and like shady? Absolutely. Do I feel like there could be legal grounds for you to like get some kind of monetary payout from it? Like,
No.
Absolutely not. You don't own the products.
Yeah.
Defendant is Alyssa, and Sydney says that this happened a few days apart. Here's another example. They're both.
I will say that pots and pan set is literally
Was it popular?
Yeah, my mom had it on her Christmas list. Like, it is very popular.
That's the thing. I'm like, if they're just promoting viral products, I'm sure someone promoted it before they did.
Yeah, and I don't know how much like having it just laid out on a countertop, how much that specifically can be seen as copying, even though it may be like, yeah, there could have been other ways for her to do it, I guess, like cooking with it
How
or whatever,
many?
but not a ton. Yeah, it's just like either
I was
you
gonna
just show
say,
it
the
there,
possibilities aren't too,
or
yeah.
you cook with it. Those are your only two options.
Yeah.
Here's another example. They're both promoting this Amazon pots and pans set. Phone cases, similar posts like this on Instagram. And at this point, Sydney starts to register all of her content with the Copyright Office and sends cease and desist
How?
orders.
Is Janet
I think
her
I
lawyer?
know her lawyer is all I'm
Literally?
gonna say.
Like, is it though?
Even if someone does, like literally maliciously copies you and promotes the same products you promote, those are public products. Let's say they're both promoting a product that is as popular as those pots and pans. Like I said, like literally I know a ton of people who want those and promote those. You cannot argue, I mean, you could argue, but I don't think it would be an efficient argument to stand in court and say, she got this idea from me. That is a pot and pan that has thousands of reviews. How the fuck are you going to possibly explain that? Even the boat earrings. Okay, let's say those are the exact same boat earrings. I bet you those boat earrings have thousands of reviews. I bet you a ton of people have bought them. They're public products. Anybody can find them.
You could easily blow that out of the water by just showing someone else promoting it a few days earlier than the other girl did.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't discover them. This is weird.
Yeah, so I would be very curious to know what those copyrights are, because although you can technically register any post you make, you can register it, go ahead, but that doesn't mean anything, really.
A copyright is for a specific work. It's not like a blanket, like, this is my aesthetic, you can't use it. That would be more of a trademark situation, but even then, you can't trademark fucking beige furniture. The copyright is literally a copyright of that video.
Correct.
But then, like, she's not using her video, so that's irrelevant.
Exactly. That's where it gets tricky, because if she copyrighted, let's say, the photo of her promoting the boat earrings, just because this other girl took a photo of her own of the same earrings, it's not like you're the person that made those earrings. And even if you were, if they're public and being sold, like you can't control the content other people make. If she was stealing your photos and pretending they were her own, then that's different, but that's not what she's doing. So it's just, I don't get the case here. And a cease and desist, it's like, what the fuck?
No, that's...
What is it with people
it's
in
really
cease and
making me
desist?
wonder who her lawyer is.
Yeah, I know. I'm telling you, I have an idea.
Genuinely, like, she could copy the exact to the T, like everything exactly the same, like in her kitchen with her pots and pans.
That's it. That's
and
hers.
guess what? That has nothing to do with your copyright.
Nope.
Like a cease and desist. What does it say? Stop copying me.
Literally.
Alyssa basically saying, stop copying me. Sydney also claims that...
What the fuck? That was good.
No, but also, like, I can't fathom having the just, like, ego to try and do this. Like, again, do I think that it sucks and it's, like, shady? Yeah. But, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and now we're getting into weird-ass territory because now we're getting into Sydney saying that Alyssa literally dyed her hair from black to brown a few months after she did it, and then posted the same like pictures and profile shots on social media. So now it's gone from you're copying me to like single white female, you're stalking me, you're becoming me.
I was just gonna say that. But also, again, is that weird?
Yeah.
Yes. But is it illegal? Can you sue someone for dyeing their hair? I don't care if you think that they copied you. You can't.
You could waste your money suing someone for that, yes.
I was like, if you could, then I think it's just Ashley or whatever. And
oh
the
my God,
Ariana
would be
lookalike would, exactly. Like, they're not doing anything legally wrong. Morally, ethically, a little weird. Yeah.
I think that this all could have just been a singular TikTok or maybe even a series, if you will, of Sydney sitting down and saying, this person has been doing this to me and it makes me super fucking uncomfortable and I'm not okay with this. That would have been the appropriate response.
Engage your audience to like go tell her that she's weird.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
like,
about it.
I don't condone that really, but like, honestly, better move than this.
Yeah.
This is embarrassing.
Yeah, this now just seems like, okay, girl, calm down. And I don't think that's beneficial for anyone. I think she's going to lose money. We'll keep going on her accusations, but I just think there is no amount of evidence that you can sue someone for like stealing your aesthetic over. Like that's, you can't do that.
Not to mention, like, I think that they would have led with something a little more damning than the pots and pans if they had it.
Yeah,
so.
true. I think it only gets worse from here.
Copied how she looks, so changing her hair color similar to what Sydney has. Sydney even claims that Alyssa got the same tattoo. And
okay,
that
Hailey
is not
Bieber's
the
Selena
same
Gomez.
tattoo. That is literally different tattoos. Okay, yes, the placement is the same and they're both flowers, but I actually like Alyssa's more.
Like, again, is it weird?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like one of these things, maybe no, but all of them combined is concerning for sure.
Arguably, suing her though might be weird.
Yeah, I agree.
The person in the white is Sydney and the black is Alyssa. Alyssa says, and she told me that it was completely a coincidence and she found this inspiration on Pinterest. And
I believe
Alyssa
that
also
too.
says that she never copied Sydney.
Well, it's
that
not
she never
super
even thought
unique.
about Sydney in that time in between. It's just what influencer content looks like. And now Sydney is suing Alyssa, claiming that because Alyssa made photos and posted photos that looked like Sydney's, had her vibe, that she was infringing on Sydney's copyright, which is a very novel claim. That's not really how copyright works, but so far the case has been progressing.
Well, that
Sydney is
doesn't
also suing
mean
Alyssa for
anything.
misappropriation, which means appropriating
Yeah, that's
someone's
true.
likeness, what they look like, what they sound like, and profiting from it. And that's where that tattoo and hair color, those things come into play. There are so many strange things about this lawsuit because on
This
one
is
hand,
fucking
if you didn't
wild.
know the Amazon influencer.
So she's literally saying, basically, you are cosplaying as me and people are
Impersonating me,
purchasing
yeah.
from you instead of me thinking
that
it's me. Okay, so that's where I guess the damages and stuff come in, where it's just like, you're stealing money.
That's insane. And how would you prove that? Like, are you going to bring in like a bunch of followers and be like, who did you think you were following? Like, no. It doesn't matter if people said they mistook her content for yours. Because guess what? I mean, they could come across a million other influencers and I'm sure mistake the same content.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is unfortunately, and I'm not even trying to be mean, but unfortunately what this is telling us is that you don't have a whole lot of personality in your content. And your content is just very basic, beige, not a whole lot of you. It's not you-centered, it's product-centered. And when that's the case, even though like the hair color might change or whatever, it doesn't really matter. It's like that Marlena Velez girl where I was just like, I don't even think people have heard her talk. So she could just come back to the internet and nobody would know.
I was like, she could rebrand and then
It's
you
a
would just
lack
think
of
you're following someone
personality.
else.
It's not just a lack of color in your house. Like you're not showing a lot of yourself. And so therefore, can't anybody be you? Because who are you? I don't even know.
The whole thing about like, oh, my followers started messaging me and saying that they thought it was my content. I'm like, so you weren't in it though?
Yeah, like how did they mistake that?
So it's like, because they saw pots and pans and thought it was you.
Now,
like,
I get it. If someone, again, is stealing your photos, is literally, let's say, like dressing like you, stealing your photos and actively trying to do this, It just seems like you
Very
both
different.
got very basic changes made to you, like black to brown, like, oh my God, shocked. Like, it's just, a lot of people do that.
If they had a case here, think of all the YouTube video trends where it's like people copy the exact same thumbnail and
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Like that's literally constant. Even with Beauty Break, it's like we would do stuff that like other people do or other people would do stuff. Like you don't.
But at the same time, if someone, let's say, tries to copy our show, it's going to be pretty obvious which ones do we know them and which ones, I don't know, oh, we know them, or like whatever the fuck they would name it. Like, it's just like, it's still not going to be Lily and Jesse talking because it's not Lily and Jesse talking. You know what I mean? Like, we show our personality, we show who we are, and that's what our show is. So I just think that if anything, this just speaks to a lack of, I don't know, content. Personality. I don't know.
On that note, like if we relied on just the fact that we talk about internet drama, like guess what? There's tons of people that talk about internet drama.
We didn't make that up. Like, what
we
the
didn't
fuck?
invent that. Yeah. Oh, this is weird.
I know, but we're only halfway through.
I'm excited. Before we go any further, we have a word from our last sponsor, Pretty Litter.
Pretty Litter is my favorite litter to ever exist. I have tried many, believe me, and this is the ultimate odor blocker, easiest to clean. I don't have to change her litter like fully, like, dump out the litter nearly as much. So you really don't go through the bags very quickly.
And it's super cool. It's like these clear crystals, and when the cat pees in it, then they change colors. It like alerts you to if they have a potential health concern.
Yeah, it's really cool because cats have a lot of like urinary tract issues, kidney issues sometimes because they don't drink enough water and it's a whole thing. So it's really nice to have that peace of mind. And you can just order it and it ships right to your door, which is super convenient. It's what I do and I never have to run out to the store to get cat litter.
So if you guys want to make your life easier and less smelly, go to prettylitter.com/DWKT and you can save 20% on your first order and you get a free cat toy.
That's prettylitter.com/DWKT to save 20% off your first order and get a free cat toy. prettylitter.com/DWKT.
Terms and conditions apply. See site for details.
Thank you so much to Pretty Litter for being an amazing sponsor of this podcast.
There are so many strange things about this lawsuit because on one hand, if you didn't know the Amazon influencer ecosystem, I think you would see all these side-by-side photos and be like, there's definitely something going on. But if you've spent time in that side of TikTok, you know that this is just what content looks like. There are 1,000 other women who have this exact same vibe, who talk the same way, and who promote the same products.
The only reason it does seem like she is copying her, like I'll give her that. It does feel like something weird is going on and that she's like, the fact that she blocked her. But the main thing is that they knew each other. If they didn't know each other, then like literally this could be a coincidence.
Yes. I do think that that's an interesting tidbit to, again, sit on TikTok and be like, this girl's copying me. For this, it's fucking insane. It's not that interesting to sue someone over. I'll just tell you that.
Regarding the misappropriation claim, I also think it's important to mention that Alyssa is a Black Latina woman. And Sydney identifies as a white Hispanic woman. You get into this weird, very uncomfortable place where now you have a white woman accusing a Black woman of looking too much like her. Sydney's argument is that when they both posted photos like this with their phone in front of their face, that they absolutely looked like the same person.
Shut up.
This is not real.
Oh my God.
What do you mean?
We're both wearing beige and covering our face with our phone cases. Like, okay, any other revolutionary
Welcome to the
ideas
internet,
you've had?
Marley.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. Wow.
That is pretty bad. And yeah, then you do take into account that she's Black and then it's just like, oh brother, this is getting messier and messier by the second.
Your hair the same color as someone, does that mean you're misappropriating their likeness? And further, if you post photos like this, if your house looks like this and you make content, are you infringing on someone's copyright? I think one of the strangest things about this story is how it's legitimately unclear what exactly happened. Like, I spent months thinking about this, writing about this. I talked to both women, I talked to legal experts, I talked to other influencers. And there's honestly a world where I can see that these two women arrived at the same type of content completely organically, or at least driven by their algorithms. If your personalized algorithm is aggressively beige and it only promotes Amazon products, and it only promotes content like what you
Seems like an
already
oxymoron.
made, isn't it natural that it would start looking and resembling other people's content? As I was writing this story, I kept thinking about sort of the weird similarities that I noticed in between the two women. Two different photographers took these images, but this is in both of their houses and they have the same setup for pictures.
See, that's
a gallery
weird.
wall.
I mean, it is a gallery wall, but they're all black and white photos. They're both side profiles. It is weird.
I literally am like, are they mixed tiles? Did they do a brand deal?
It's not a revolutionary idea. It's just like when you compile everything, it's too coincidental to be coincidental, in my opinion.
No,
Like this
I agree.
is, yes, basic and giving beige influencer, but the logistics of it, I mean, there's different amounts of frames, I guess is the only difference, but it is side profile right in front of a black and white gallery wall. Like, that is weird. I don't know. I find that a little weird.
Again, I think because they know each other, because she blocked her, those are very glaring aspects.
They don't like
that
each
make
other.
It like,
that would
okay.
be a motive to copy someone alone.
Not even that they didn't like each other, that it's like one of them blocked the other so they could copy them without them realizing it. But then also, I'm like, if they did run it, like at one time they were in the same circle, I feel like who's the next tier of influencer that does this aesthetic that they probably both follow and like take inspiration from?
That's true.
What if they're both copying someone else?
Yeah, I think that's where my only like thing comes in, where I'm just like, okay, but none of this is painfully original. And I do think that they got it from other people in general. The vibe, the actual products, like if bow earrings are trending, they're both gonna know about that. You know what I mean? So I think that there are ways where they could have, like she said, arrived at the same thing. I just think the way that certain things were executed, like when we're talking angles and specifics, it is too many. And I do think in Alyssa's case specifically, she does have a quote unquote motive to copy Sydney, which is that she doesn't fucking like her.
Also, I think some of these, again, when you look at it all together, it looks weird, but like neither of these are particularly cool pictures.
No, I agree. I don't like either of them. They're not making me want to buy the
This would be a
frames.
weird thing to be like, I need to recreate that. Like, that's what's gonna do really, like, it's kind of random.
Yeah.
Example, they're both black and white. These women are very successful. They both bought houses recently. Is it possible that their algorithms were pushing them towards each other and towards resembling one another? Social media and fast fashion and cheap home decor is driven by scale. They want to appeal to the most amount of people for as cheap as possible. When you're a content creator, your content is driven by what the algorithm tells you is good, how videos perform. You obviously will start to converge a little bit and videos will start to look the same. I think it's also important just to say clearly that these two women and other Amazon influencers have built an empire for themselves based on cheap, fast clothing, home goods, and decor. Products come from faceless, nameless companies. We don't know how they're produced, and a lot of it will just end up in the landfill. And Amazon...
That's one thing I always wonder about the Amazon type influencers. It's like they have to constantly be buying more stuff.
Yeah, I think they do actually have to buy it. I don't know 100% how Amazon works.
You
but
actually don't, because I didn't do it, but I talked to them about doing like, because there's Amazon influencers like Jocelyn even does like live streams where you're like promoting products.
I've seen those, yeah.
They were like gonna like pay, but then also you get commission on it. So
yeah, but I wonder almost if it's like a TikTok shop thing, because on TikTok shop you can request products and then you have to in exchange do it, like the review or whatever.
I didn't ask if they would like give me products, but I know that it was not required that I have the product to promote it. But I was like, well, but then like that's weird. That was one of the reasons that I was kind of like, this feels weird, because it was like, one, I didn't have a ton of money at the time, so I'm like, I can't just like buy all this shit. And also, like, eventually you're gonna have too much stuff.
Yeah, I think that overconsumption in general is a huge fucking issue. And I do think that when your job is the promoting things, so like, for instance, with us, we have sponsors, right? Those are in between our content. Our content's not about buy this, buy this, buy this, buy that.
I can't imagine having my content be a brand deal, like, constantly.
That's what I'm getting at is, like, their entire page is just, here's what to buy. That does seem wasteful. It does seem kind of, I don't know, I guess unethical in the grand scheme of things, to be honest. I mean, they're making an honest living, I guess, but at the same time.
But like, you have to question how much of it, like, do they really like it, or did they just think it would do well? And like, the whole reason you would follow someone like that is because you like their taste or like their opinion on stuff, but they're curating stuff based on the algorithm, not based on actual like quality or
I don't think at this point they give a shit about what they're buying. They've already bought everything they could want to buy, and now they're just looking for shit that looks nice. So you'll buy it and give them money.
Or do they return it afterwards? Like, I have so many questions.
What I'd love for people to take away from this piece and from this lawsuit is that these two women in their early 20s are duking it out in court, spending a ton of money on legal fees.
I was going to say,
it's
wasting their
obviously
money.
very emotionally difficult for them, but Amazon profits either way. To Amazon, it doesn't matter who wins because no matter what, Amazon will get paid every time you buy a set of pot and pans, whether it's from Sydney or Alyssa or one of the hundreds of other women who make content just like them. I reached out to Amazon and asked if they wanted to comment for this story, and they completely declined.
Shocked. I feel like that's kind of a weird takeaway. Like, I'm not defending Amazon, obviously, but like, they don't have anything to do with this. They don't give a shit. Like, obviously.
No, I don't think it's a weird takeaway at all. I think that like it is fair to say that these women's jobs in general, yes, they're like arguing about the aesthetic and all this bullshit. Amazon is the one that fucking comes out on top.
Amazon
always.
is creating an environment that is like creating this competition between.
Yeah, they made it that way. They made it so that they would fight over something so stupid because literally who fucking cares if you buy the pots and pans from her or City? It really doesn't fucking matter. But to them it does because their entire fucking earnings and everything they have in life depends on if you buy the pots and pans from them. And I just think that in general, that career is scary. I wouldn't want that, to be honest.
It's very out of your control, it feels like. It's crazy though, because I also think then like TikTok plays a huge role in that too, because Amazon's not telling these people what to promote. And like I said earlier, the selection of products to promote is endless. Like they could easily promote stuff that other people are not promoting, but they don't do that because it doesn't fit the algorithm and it's not going to do well.
Yeah, I think that it also happens on TikTok. It's not just Amazon. It's any place where commission is earned. You just start seeing like, and I always bring her up because she just lives on my fucking For You page. The pink sauce girl, what's her name?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Allie. Jesus Christ, Allie. Every product's the best. All she posts about is the new TikTok shop thing. Oh my God, you guys need this. This is the best thing I've ever tried. This is amazing. Give me a fucking break. Like, I get it. You earn commission from this, but holy shit, we don't need everything. Everything is not the best fucking thing. And I do think that overconsumption is a disease. And I just, in general, although I contribute to it a little bit, I do buy things, and especially like for my kids and stuff. But like, fucking A, dude. Like, I do think at a certain point it gets unethical. It's like, I get it. This is how you're making a living. Stop telling people, though, that they need everything because you're lying. They don't need everything.
Like, favorites videos used to be, like, such a huge thing.
Yeah.
And I have never understood it because I'm like, I don't have like new favorites every month though. Like, what do you mean? Because they would do like December favorites, January favorites. And I'm like, yeah, I could find things definitely. But it's like, I don't know. It just felt like it was like, you have so many favorites though, and it's always changing that how are they your favorites?
Yeah.
Like if you have so many. And I'm not coming for people that do favorites. I think there's ways that it makes sense. I'm just saying personally, I've never been able to do it because I like don't have enough things that I feel like I want to promote, you know?
I think that in general, that kind of content to me, I stay away from it. Like, I don't want to see people trying to sell me shit 24/7. Again, there is a difference, in my opinion. Maybe some people don't like sponsors or whatever, but like, I think there's a big difference between having sponsors in your own content that has nothing to do with what you need to buy. That's a very different thing than only creating content telling people you need this. And even then in sponsors, like, I can't say you need this, and if you don't have this, like, you're not living life, girl. Like, no, you are living life. You're fine.
We end all of our sponsors with like, if you want to try this.
Yeah, literally.
Like
you don't
need to have
everything.
this, otherwise you're gonna die.
Not everything makes sense for people, and we don't need every audience member to buy something because if not, they're literally a miserable piece of shit. Like, I do feel like there's a line here, and a lot of people cross it to earn that commission. And in general, I see why Mia's bringing up, I don't know, the ethics of it. Like, I do think that that's valid. And I think that at the end of the day, those companies that are on TikTok Shop really benefit at the cost of the people putting their, like, not dignity, but like themselves on the line. They are literally telling you, like, this is the best thing I have ever tried. Back in my day and even now, I feel like we're really careful about what we say about certain things because that's your character. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just be like, this is the best thing. That's a big statement.
If you're willing to base your entire brand and all of your content off of products that aren't yours, that you're not like, it's not your brand that you're promoting, you're basically the minions for all of, not even just Amazon, but all the companies that sell their products on there. So it's all just like a vicious cycle of capitalism. Yeah. But I think you have to question people that do only do content where it is promoting things that you have to buy, because it's like, how much of it do they actually think you might enjoy, and how much do they just think they could convince you to buy, which then makes them money?
Yeah, it gets to the point where you've promoted so many things that there's just no way you like all of those things. You're just looking for shit that you want me to buy so you can earn a buck. But going back to the stealing thing, I still stand by the fact that them suing each other or Sydney suing Alyssa
It's
is
the dumbest
fucking
shit I've ever
insane.
heard.
So dumb.
Yeah.
Sydney, girl, if you're watching this, you should have absolutely done a 3-part story time on this. We would have covered it just the same. And we would have called Alyssa out like, oh, that's weird. Like, why is she doing that? But a lawsuit
Still
is
think
just
it's weird.
so
Doesn't mean you
ridiculous.
should sue her.
Yeah, that I can't get behind. I'm sorry. Wish you the best, but yikes.
I have to wonder what your lawyer told you and like
How he
'cause I
convinced
think
you
they
to do
lied
this?
to you.
Yeah, I would want to know too.
Because I would be so genuinely blown away if the judge even entertained this. The journalist said something about like how the case has been proceeding. I'm like, yeah, our case has been going for a year and the judge like hadn't even seen the court documents yet.
Yeah.
That means nothing. You're both just wasting your money. This is stupid.
Agreed. But that's
in my
pretty much
opinion,
it.
allegedly.
Yeah. Anyway, we love the internet.
Oh my God. Yeah. That is like, and I hate the internet. I can't believe that's real.
I know.
The dyeing her hair and taking the selfies was just too much. Oh my God. I have a funny one.
Okay. Mine is, you would have to know him for this to make sense, but my friend Kelton, we play Fortnite every night, and him and I break out into random song. We just love to belt and sing, and we drive everybody fucking nuts. But anyway, this is us on any given day. But it says on the screen, saw this man getting serenaded by his lady on my drive yesterday.
Just disassociating.
He literally hates his life.
Oh my God.
Not
That
her first
brings me
rodeo.
back to,
I will just say that.
my friend growing up, her dad stayed at home and her mom worked. So he was just our chauffeur and he drove us everywhere. And oh my God, we were so obnoxious. Not just like singing in our own world and it was just annoying. No, like singing in his face, singing in his ear. I'm surprised we didn't cause car accidents.
Oh, that sounds awful. You need to apologize to him.
Really,
Jesus.
really fun. He's a lovely man. I felt like you in particular would think this was funny. And I love the concept. I think you should do it with your kids when they're older.
We listen, we don't judge. Sometimes when you guys want to go to the park, I pretend like I'm working and busy, so I don't have to take you guys.
That's why we haven't been to the park.
We listen.
We haven't been to the
We
park in 2
listen.
months.
We listen and don't judge.
Yesterday, I found Nini's bracelet on the phone. I picked it up and I wore it, and I still have it on me.
We listen. We listen.
Some of these things you've been saying is really cool.
What? It's. We don't judge.
What other stuff are you hiding from us?
Whoa! This is a safe zone. All right, this is a safe zone. Sometimes when Nia's sleeping in our bed, and she's under the blankets, and she's dead asleep, I fart. We listen. We don't judge. We don't judge, mate. We don't judge.
Go, Nia. Really disappointed. Go, Nia.
We don't judge.
Nia, say something that you do to Dad. So one time, I bummed the toilet, but Mommy came in and I blamed it on Daddy. We listen and we don't judge. You know, I'm really disappointed in you. Go, Dad, go, Dad.
One time there was an invitation for a birthday party that Nini had to go to, and she didn't see it, and I threw it in the bin.
What?
We listen.
We don't
judge.
listen.
We don't.
We fight our father.
I love
them.
that trend so much. I sit through every single one that comes on my For You page.
Oh, I've never seen it before. It was cracking me up.
Oh yeah, well, if you would scroll TikTok and not just Instagram, you would see it. It just brings out the best in everyone, I think.
Oh my God, you doing it with Nassim would be really funny.
I want to do so many and I just don't. You know, that's my life.
I understand. That's me with all content. That's why we do this podcast.
Well, anyway, if you guys made it to the end of this episode, we appreciate you very much. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. And as always,
If you made it, bless you.
Yeah, I know, seriously. And as always, we will see you on Friday. Bye.
Leave your Christmas recommendations below. Cheers. Happy holidays.